Welcome to the fourth video of session 9, Terms and Methods of Payment. In this video, we are going to look at what must be done before the shipment in using documentary letter of credit. We will also look at the types of letters of credit. What must be done before shipment using documentary letter of credit? Now, the issuing bank, or which is the buyer's bank, informs correspondent bank in the seller's country that an LC has been issued and asks them to inform the seller who is the beneficiary of the availability of such credit. The corresponding bank can act as an advising bank or a confirming bank. Now, the seller then arranges for shipment of goods and tenders the required documents under the letter of credit with the corresponding bank in the seller's country. The bank checks that the documents correspond exactly to the terms written in the letter of credit. The failure of it will result in a rejection for correction. The documents are sent to issuing bank, who also cross-checks with the letter of credit. When the documents are correct, the correspondent bank pays the agreed amount to the seller. Buyer then pays bank and collects the document to take delivery of cargo. There are 4 types of letter of credit I want us to look at. They are: 1. Irrevocable letter of credit. 2. Revocable letter of credit. 3. Confirmed letter of credit. 4. Confirmed irrevocable letter of credit. I will take them one after the other. If an irrevocable letter of credit will be required, the word irrevocable should clearly be marked on the document. So a letter of credit with the word irrevocable on it denotes an irrevocable letter of credit. However, for revocable letter of credit, it will not be marked as such, but will have a clause in the document for cancellation from buyer or seller. That's what it is for irrevocable and revocable. Confirmed letter of credit implies what the name sounds. If it's confirmed, confirmed. If it's Now, let us look at the forwarder's job in a letter of credit. This is specifically for your good selves. What you need to do as a forwarder in letter of credit transaction. Please check the type of letter of credit to see if it is revocable or irrevocable. Also check whether it is confirmed or advised by the bank in the seller's country. Check that the letter of credit is subject to the UCP for documentary credits of the International Chamber of Commerce, the rules that guides it. If a precise date is given for shipment, ensure that goods can definitely be shipped on that set date. I repeat, included in the forwarder's job in use of a letter of credit is to ensure that if a precise date is given for shipment, then make sure the goods can definitely be shipped on the set date. Otherwise, it will render the LC useless. Note very carefully that every letter of credit has an expiry date. Draft drawn under this credit must be presented to us not later than. That is the phrase you would see on a letter of credit. See, drafts drawn under this credit must be presented to us not later than. You have to check if this date is acceptable. You also have to check if the value on the letter of credit is sufficient to cover the transaction. Ensure that the goods are correctly described. Quite often, sellers ought to know, buyers ought to know, but they do not, and they quite often depend on the forwarder to help them with the correct description of cargo. That is the reason why it is advisable for buyers and sellers to consult freight forwarders to give them guidance on such information before they start their transactions. Also check and ensure that the ports or places of departure and the destination are correctly entered on the document. Ensure that there are no risks that an alternative route might be used. If alternative routes are used, that might be problematic. Are there partial shipment or transshipment allowed? If transshipment is not allowed by the clauses on it, or partial shipment are not allowed, then ensure that all the shipments will be sent on the date or by the date in the quantity to cover the letter of credit, because if it's partial, it may not fulfill the requirements. And if transshipment is included, when it's upheld, that would also become problematic. This brings us to the end of the topic, terms and methods of payment. Take note of the role of forwarders in letter of credit transaction. Thank you.